So 2020 has been quite the year. Instead of presenting a standard scare the bejesus out of you monster, let's give our minds and our adrenaline a rest. Because isn't that what we all need right now? If the demonic knuckle of V is on the disgusting end of the monster spectrum, the Kasogonaga sits on the adorable opposite end. A sky deity from the mythology of the Toba peoples of South America, the Kasogonaga appears as a small hairy creature with short legs who fell out of the clouds and needs a little human help to return to the sky. It has the ability to bring rain, lightning, and thunder, and a history of helping the indigenous people of South America. I'm Dr. Emily Zarka, and this is Monstrum. The Kasogonaga hails from the Gran Chaco region of South America, which includes modern-day Argentina, Bolivia, and Paraguay. Because it is spread across many cultures and regions, it goes by a few names. This diminutive creature is genderless, and its physical appearance across stories varies as widely as its name, but its most common and defining characteristic is its ability to control storms. The Kasogonaga resides in the clouds and can be called on by a shaman or Piaxanok for assistance. It can create thunder, control the rain, and command lightning at will, sometimes even emitting lightning from its mouth. This furry helper is described as having a small head and a body covered with long hair like an anteater, with 4 tiny feet and a long snout, or occasionally as a small multicolored elephant. Some modern depictions of the Kasogonaga add rainbow hair, which may just be a conflation between it and another non-human being from Toba mythology, the Komanalo, described as a rainbow snake that also brings storms. A rainbow-haired anteater storm deity? I love it. As with many creatures whose origins are in oral traditions, Kasogonaga's name, appearance, and stories are influenced by the language, religion, and community of its various regions. Toba spiritual practices integrate Animism, a worldview that asserts that humans, non-human animals, and non-living entities all have spirits or sentience and influence the lives of people. Part of that belief is that most non-human entities are capable of changing into whatever corporeal body they wish, as if changing clothes, meaning the altering physical depictions of the Kasogonaga across cultures are not seen as unusual, but most beliefs still center around the same general narrative. It's a deity who fell from the sky and needs human help to return. The origin story goes, a man out hunting heard a voice in a clearing and came upon lightning. The creature spoke to the man, telling him it had fallen from the sky and could not return to the clouds. The being implored the man for help, asking him to build a large fire so it could use the smoke to rise back to the heavens. The creature, too small to climb onto the fire itself, told the man to pick it up and place it upon the fire, and after to run home immediately. He follows these instructions, and when lightning reaches the sky, a violent thunderstorm covers the drought-stricken land with a heavy rain, a sign of the entity's gratitude. Kasogonaga was so thankful, it continued to protect and watch over the man, communicating with him through the air and giving him the power to heal people. The man became a shaman, and the grateful sky deity promised he could call upon it at any time, and if anyone bothered him, the Kasogonaga would strike his enemy with lightning and kill them. So this idea that a human could interact with a non-human deity isn't an odd concept for the Toba people. In Animism, non-human entities coexist with humans, and although not all people can see or interact with them, their general existence is agreed upon. The role of animism in everyday life of the Toba people is further demonstrated in their retelling of historical events, which often involves human and non-human intervention. The indigenous Toba people, also known as the Quam, found their land infiltrated by Jesuit missionaries in the 17th century, and eventually part of the Gran Chaco region was declared national territory of Argentina in 1884. That same year, a military campaign called the Conquest of the Chaco Desert led to violent conflict with the Quam as the Argentine government built settlements for further conquest. Their pursuits were physical, spiritual, and cultural. Many of the stories of this period of colonization include the indigenous people escaping or even defeating the soldiers because of communication with entities. One story tells of Kasogonaga helping a group of Toba women captured by the Argentine military during the campaign of occupation of indigenous communities. 6 women were collecting carob fruit when the military seized them, tied them up, and forced them to walk towards a prison camp while the captors rode horses and donkeys. The women were bound and held captive at the prison camp, and through communication with Kasogonaga, who implored the women to escape that night if they had any hope of survival. Which they did, because we know the story today. For the Quam people, time is fluid, and history is not always recounted exactly chronologically, and older oral traditions merge with modern history. In recent years, as the Quam continue their fight for rights to ancestral territory, non-human figures, including the Kasaganaga, appear in the retelling of these modern histories. According to one story, an electrical storm allowed the Quam people to set up roadblocks to prevent 100 police officers from evicting a group of indigenous people from a local school. The Quam people say that the unrelenting rain, thunder, and lightning that afforded them protection and camouflage was sent by Kasogonaga. The storm reportedly ceased only when both roadblocks were complete. As a creature who still has a supportive role to play in the lives of the Quam people today, this monster is different from many of the other ones I've covered in a few ways. And since I frequently research monsters who are destructive, vindictive, and downright evil, I find the helpful Kasogonaga to be a welcome relief, and a pleasant and important reminder that even in 2020, not all monsters are bad. I also would like to hug it, but I would definitely ask permission first. If only there was a plush version of it.